Hi everybody, welcome to my channel White Feather Tarot 888. Hello. So, hi everyone, I am Linda. Of course I am not doing a tarot. I just really wanted to do a video about a revelation that I had, an epiphany. About a few weeks ago I had this epiphany. It was pretty strong for me. For you that don't know, I am quite new to tarot. I've been doing it for about close to a year now. And tarot, the spiritual enlightenment that I had, very much changed my life. If you knew me before then, of course, I was somebody who was heavily into drugs. I was somebody that smoked cigarettes. I was somebody that drank a lot of alcohol. But ever since my spiritual awakening last year, I no longer do any of that. I do vape. I am not going to lie about that. I do vape. However, all the habits that I was so used to for many years, I do not do anymore. Tarot reading became or has become a hobby of mine. I absolutely have so much passion for it. I love it. I am still learning about tarot. I'm learning about crystals, astrology, and all the above. Everything that has to do with the spiritual alignment that I'm having with tarot and the spiritual awakening that I have. So I am currently on my journey. Of course, a year has gone by and I am on my journey, and every single day is such a blessing for me. I love to give my gratitude for all the blessings that happen to me, big or small, every single day, and I love it. I notice that I really notice a lot of blessings that happen, and it doesn't matter how small they are. I noticed that they're just the small blessings that are happening in my life, and the more that I acknowledge that, the more blessings start coming, and I notice all the blessings that are happening. So I was having a shower a few weeks ago. Of course, that's not my last shower. But when I was in the shower, this happened a few weeks ago, I was listening to a tarot reading on YouTube while I was having a shower. And then all of a sudden, because I had just recently added myself to a tarot reading community on Facebook. I absolutely love them. They're very encouraging. Some are from New Zealand, a lot are from America, some are from India, and I have created connections with them. So I had begun my journey with this tarot community, and it got me thinking about a lot of things that they talk about on their page. I'm not going to talk about what they talk about. I'm just going to talk about a revelation, epiphany that I had, that I received from the divine. So of course, when I had this revelation, it really blew my mind. I was overwhelmed about it, and then I thought I'd plaster it everywhere over that chat, or over that community, the tarot community that I'm a part of. And I was absolutely overwhelmed with their response. So this revelation, as I was having a wash, I felt as if somebody was talking to me, and I was really in deep thought. It was my time to really think about myself, and just think about what I need to do for that day, really setting my intentions. And then all of a sudden I had this massive epiphany that changed a lot of what I was thinking about. Now, of course, I definitely believe in God. I believe that we all have one supreme God. I believe that we all come under that one supreme God, and that He is the Almighty, and that He is a good God. I absolutely believe that. So this is where I'm going to with this. When I was thinking about my spirituality, I somehow, had the question in my head, what do you think your spirituality is to you, and where do you think it comes from? Now, me being a Māori woman, of course I'm thinking, well, my spirituality comes from my tupuna, my ancestors, because they were so heavily involved in their spiritual side. um, you know, it went through generations. Of course, I'm one of many hundreds lions, the 100th lion, and I am very spiritual, both angelic and in my Māoritanga. So the thought came into my head, where do you think it comes from? And again, I suppose that's a question that I've always wanted to know. But I literally went deep down into my intuition, um, deep down within myself, pretty much what you call the hermit mode. um, and I really had a good think about it. So this is what I thought. And I thought it was just amazing. We all, so every single human being, the body that we carry is only nothing but a shell. So within us is the divine spirit that we carry with us. Okay, so we are all, well, supplied, or we all have spirituality in us. We have a spirit. So when we pass away, our spirit goes to heaven, or to be with everybody else. So I thought about that, and I was thinking, like, what's the possibility of every single spirit that every person holds comes from the divine himself? So what I mean is, when these guys watch Harry Potter, and I know that's not God, that's obviously the opposite, that was death in that story, and he cuts the invisible cloak from himself, and he hands it over to one of the brothers, the three brothers, and then the brother starts possessing it. He possesses that property from the opposite of God. So when I was thinking that, I was thinking, whoa, it's definitely a possibility that the spirit that I have within me, and when we think about it, our spirit returns back to, heaven, and they say that we return back to God. And then I thought, why is that? Is that because we're actually legit a part of him? So when I thought about that Harry Potter movie, and I thought about the story of the three brothers, and then I thought, it's not a dumb idea to think that maybe our spirit form, had been plucked from some part of God and placed, and placed with a purpose, and then placed into a shell, therefore transported into our parents, our parents. Is it possible for every single human on this earth, and let's be honest, everybody goes through reincarnation. So when you're a tarot reader, you believe in past lives. When you believe in past lives, that means that you were born over hundreds and hundreds, possibly millions of years, or thousands, 2020. But yeah, you were born so many times, and that's what we call our past lives. So is it possible to think that God could, let's say, about 1 million of us, or maybe, maybe 5 billion or something, parts of himself, and gave it over to become mortal like us humans? And then when we die, our shells, we return back to heaven, and then he gives us another life, therefore repeating that cycle all over again. Because in one way or another, our spirit has to return back to him anyway, because it's a part of him. Now, this was the epiphany that I was getting while I was having a shower, and I did not, and I thought it was very mind blowing because I've never ever ever thought about this ever in my life, to feel that it's a definite possibility that your spirit, because the reason why I think about this is because how can we, the individual, have such a strong connection to the divine? And we ask the divine to, can you please da 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 da, and they will do it for you. Okay, they will do it for you. And then, the divine, the angels themselves, they are servants of God. So they themselves are also a piece of God. And when we ask for their help, they come to our aid. Now, I thought, wow, that's quite strong, having that connection and being able to ask them for help and they come to your aid, when you ask them. And then I thought, well, that must be because we are literally a part of the divine. So our spiritual side, our spirit in us, is the divine part of us, okay? And of course, I do understand there are many, many, many faiths that already know this revelation or have some sense of understanding when it comes to this revelation. But the way that I had it, because you see, I have a different mind than everybody else, the way that I see it was, I have a spirit in me. My spirit happens to be the most divine part of me, right? And for me to connect with the divine, I myself have to be the divine. So the spirit side that I have in me is the divine, which is easy for all of us and myself to connect to the divine. Okay, we can connect ourselves to the divine. But the divine, the angels, are also a part of God himself, okay? So when we think about Archangel Michael is the love of God, because he carries around the light of God, he carries around the love of God, the unconditional love, and protects a lot of people. So he's that part of God. And he can come down and he can protect us when we ask him to. It's almost like you're getting called by your brother. Or, I'm calling my brother, hey bro, can you help me out with the situation? He straight away comes over and says, I'm here, brother. Oh, I'm here, sis. I'm here, brother. I'm here, sis. What do you want? Something like that. So this is how in depth I was going. I was going real in depth. And this is my revelation. This is my epiphany that I had. And how we are divinely connected to source. We are divinely connected to the divine, to the divinity, and we're divinely connected to God himself. Is it because we are literally a part of him? Like our spirit is actually a part of him. Like, I've just got a little bit of his robe. And I'm not kidding, I'm not making judgment, or I'm not making fun about it. I'm actually serious. Like, I was thinking, wow, to actually feel in yourself that you have an actual piece of God in you, your spiritual divinity, your spiritual connection to the divine is part of God that's in you. And like, I can go on and on for days about this because I'm shocked. You got the past lives, how you are reincarnated over and over again. You're reincarnated, but that's speaking if your spirit goes back to heaven, and it's what is it like? It's like water. It's like water. How you have the evaporation, you have the water cycle. You had the water cycle. And it turns into vapor, goes up to the sky, turns into clouds, and then drops back down into the rain, goes into the river, and then goes back out to the ocean, because it's always a part of the ocean. It's water, and it always returns. It's kind of like that cycle. So in my understanding, God creates us, and that's of course where that saying comes from. God is our creator. He created us. He created us from his own image. Obviously not like this, but his own image, as with his love, his just everything that he has, his divine light, just everything, compassion, all of it. And then he gives it to, he gives it to us in spirit, and then we take that purpose. We are born and we grow and we live that purpose, and then when we die, we return back up, because it's that cycle, and then we start our reincarnation again. So it was absolutely mind-blowing for me to actually have that revelation, and that's what I want to do. I want to like carry on, because I am still on my tarot journey, and I want to carry on talking about the revelations that I have, because I have a lot of them, and it's just, I'm like, wow, what? Before having my spiritual awakening, I never knew any of this. I didn't even think about it. I just thought, there's no good happening for me these days. Total opposite now. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with everyone. And I hope you guys liked. If you guys have had a similar experience, just message below. I would love to read your comments. So yeah, that's my revelation, my epiphany that I had, and I hope that somebody out there's connected to what I've said. And love and light to you all. Bye.